Ready, set, art. So I'm going to show you how to make a tissue flower. And for this, I'm focusing on the color orange because of our lesson of marigolds versus the walnut tree. So I picked the color orange. You can pick any colors you want. That's totally fine. This just happened to be the color that I am using. So I needed tissue paper, pipe cleaners, and scissors. Okay. Could you use leftover tissue paper from, say, leftover parties or holidays? Yes, that all works. Regular computer paper does not work. Okay, it's going to be too difficult to pull the petals up. So I will say this works best. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. When you go to cut your tissue paper, it can be a funky looking square like this because ultimately you're going to trim the edges, and you'll see why in a moment, and it won't matter how funky it is. I'm going to stick to 4 layers, which is what I have here. Okay, you can do more, but it makes it a little harder. If it was a much bigger flower, you have more space to work with, and therefore you could use more layers. For this size, which is almost the size of my hand, 4 layers is pretty good. Make sure one side is as close to the edge as possible, and I'm going to do an accordion fold. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, like an accordion. So if you look at this, I'm going to fold about 1 inch up, and then I flip and go back. So I'm not just rolling it, essentially. You have to flip it back and forth. And I'm going to keep, and I kind of flatten it as I go because that's going to make it easier later. Okay. Now see how this didn't come all the way down to the edge? That's okay. That's what's nice about doing tissue flowers. It's very forgiving for when you make mistakes. Okay, so now I have this point right here, and this is what I mean by accordion. See how the fold is? Like an accordion. Okay. Now I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. Right? If you have leftover wire at home, you can use that too, although pipe cleaners are a little used. So I just hold like this. I fold down, and then I want to twist right here on the edge, not down here, because I see students do, oh, okay, I did it, and then it falls right out. No, you want to, hold on, twist right at the base. That way it stays. And the rest actually could be loose. That part's fine, as long as it's tight right there, and you want it close to the middle. Now I'm going to trim it, okay? Now I'm going to use, because it's a marigold, a triangle shape. And what I mean by triangle is that it needs to almost look like a picket fence. I don't mean cutting it like this, cut like this, okay? And I try to keep it kind of low on it. I'm not going to cut super sharp all the way down. And I have 2 extras right here where I'm going to show common mistakes. So I'm just going to, see that? Just like this. Okay. Let me do the other side. So I'm not cutting this way. I want to make sure it's like kind of like this. All right, so from here, now I'm ready. I kind of double check to make sure it's in the middle. From here, I'm going to go ahead and create my petals. So I kind of open up one side like a fan. And I'm going to take the first layer. Sometimes they get stuck together, so you have to peel them apart. And you're going to gently pull it up, and if it tears, that's okay, it happens. And see how, if you're looking at it from the side, see how I did that? It's going more up. You want it up, okay? And I tend to curve the edges in. I curve the edges in so it creates a circular shape. When I do my mistake piece, you'll see why that's important. So this is pretty good. Now I'm going to take the next layer and do the same thing. And I could even pull these part down at the same time. Now I'm not going to go up as high this time because I want some space in between. So if you're looking at it from the side, it looks like this right now. And I try to curve this in again because I want this circular shape. All right, for the last 2, this one here I'm going to go halfway and the other one will kind of stay down. Okay, so from the side it looks like this, right? So one's really close, really straight up, one's angled, one's starting to go this way, and the other one angles downward. Now I can do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to take, I mean, could you technically work from the bottom and then the way up? Sure. That's fine. I just tend to go for the top first because then you can start shaping from there. So right now, if I leave it like this, this is going this way. So I kind of go back and I fold it in so it's more circular, right? Like a flower would be. Get to the next layer. Like I said, sometimes they get a little stuck and it takes like a moment. I've done thousands of flowers, so technically I could go super fast right now. Although for a demo, I'm trying to go a little slow. Alright, so now I kind of look at it and shape it. And right now it looks just like this. It's ready to go. And then you could take this and tie it onto something or even like a corsage, right? Alright, so that's the main way to do it. Let me show you a couple other things to look out for. If you're not a big fan, when you do the triangle shape, like I said, you want to keep it to the top, but sometimes students do this. See, that was a sharp angle. It's like I started cutting toward the base. And then I go to the other side, do the same thing. This is a very common mistake. So that's why I want to show. So now it's like, yeah, I did the triangles, but because these are so far in, when I go to try to peel it up, it's like peeling one petal at a time instead of just one layer, and it has a tendency to tear on you because it's so close to the base. Hold on, I'm trying to at least get one more and try to be successful at it, even if I made a mistake. Yeah, it starts to tear because it's way too close to the base. So when you do that triangle, don't cut it as steep. You want to keep it close to the edge like I did before. Another cool shape that I like, if you're not big about the triangles, is doing a scallop shape, which is like a half circle right here. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. And it could be a little off, but see how it's like the edge of a quarter. Let me do the other way. Okay, and then I double check to make sure it's in the middle. And now I can open it up. And I want to show you how this one comes out. Like the other one's more spiky, and then this one kind of has a curvy type look. See, it's more curvy. Oh, I wanted to show what happens when you don't curve it. Okay, so I'll just leave it kind of straight there, like as if like sometimes students skip the step of curving it. They just open up the layers. Oops, this one's stuck. Alright, so see how it ends up looking straightened out instead of curved, less volume? That's what happens. So I'm going to do the same to the other side, and you'll see, oh no, I don't like that. And you can still fix it. Just takes a moment. Okay, hold on. This time I'm starting from the bottom because that was the easier layer to take out. Almost there. Almost there. See, it ends up looking like this instead. So if you have that, you kind of have to go back and pull these up and reshape it. If that's you, you have to go back and reshape it so that it's more round. Okay, so see, one's kind of spiky and one's a little curvy. And that's how we make tissue flowers. Thank you and good luck.